Good evening. Welcome to the shit show. I hope you brought some weed. Welcome back, my dope darlings. I hope you're doing well. I missed you all last week. My goodness, I have been running, doing all kinds of exciting new things. And last week, I just decided to take a week off. You know, sometimes you just need a little bit of downtime. And that was one of those times. I think maybe Matt had just shaved my head too. And so I was like cold, chronically cold. That tends to happen after I get a haircut. Do any of you shave your heads? I tell you, I have a good week of wearing a toque every time I shave my head because I am just so cold. I really shouldn't do a summer haircut in the winter, but it was so scruffy on the sides, I could not stand it anymore. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Token Tea. I'm sorry I missed you last week, but I just needed a down week. I hope you're all doing well this evening. I hope you've all brought something to set on fire. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Tonight I want to talk about using affirmations as a tool to create more abundance in our lives. I have been talking a lot about abundance and I'm getting a lot of questions about abundance. So I thought maybe I will just do my video on Tuesday about that. So welcome, everybody. Just a reminder to go check out our Bloom and Harvest website where you can get all the wellness stuff I talk about or any of the gardening stuff you see Matt talking about. You can find that at bloomandharvest.ca, and make sure you follow us here on Instagram, please. Now, someone followed me here on my cannabis account the other day, and I can't remember their name, but they had a memory quilt made for them. And I just wanted to tell everybody, maybe you guys don't even know this, but Matt and I own a quilt shop with our oldest daughter, Landon, and we make quilts there. So like, if you are in like a cleaning out the closet kind of mood, this is the time. Bring those quilts out. You can check out our page at Sparrow Quilt Co. We're having a contest. Whoever has the tallest stack of t-shirts is going to win a free t-shirt quilt. So that's pretty cool. Everybody can use a little bit more space in their closets, and we've done cool things like memory quilts. Someone passes away, or baby clothes as a memory quilt. That's a happy memory quilt. And lots of, you know, university shirts or people who do running marathons, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of things you can turn into quilts is what I'm trying to say. Follow that at Sparrow Quilt Co. Okay, so this evening, I'm going to kind of tell you my story about how I personally came to believe in affirmations, and not just the belief in affirmations, but how that evolved for me over the past couple of decades as I have used them as a tool. Matt grew this weed. Oh, Kelly, I gotta message you. This is wedding cheesecake that I'm smoking tonight, and I think he grew so many different strains this past time. I'm looking at all the jars, and this is one of my favorites. I love the flavor of anything that has wedding in the name. I don't know if any of you have ever noticed that sometimes the weeds, they just carry a flavor through that's similar from a parent or whatever. So anything with wedding in it, I love. But we also grew a flower called strawberry, and yes, Kelly, good, you heard me. We grew one called strawberry pie, and every night we have that, we are KO'd like halfway through, and we are not lightweights. We are not lightweights at all, and so it's a good one. If it can knock us out at night and put us to sleep, 2 thumbs up. So that is strawberry pie, and geez, I can't remember the name of the genetics, but pretty happy with that run of autoflowers in the hydro room. All right, let's get down to it, shall we? I don't even have tea tonight. I'm drinking at Starbucks, but I was almost falling asleep around 5 o'clock, and Matt's like, you need a coffee. So that man, I love that man. He's always saving my day. Oh, thanks, Maddie. Fast Buds was the name of those seeds where we got those. And all kinds of other yummy sounding strains as well, like orange sherbet and lemon pie and wedding cheesecake and cream cookies. That one was Matt's favorite. And those seeds were free. They threw in a couple of free seeds, and I think that was Matt's favorite kind. All right, so now I want to get down to the idea of affirmations and how we can use them to create more abundance in our lives. It's just a tool, right, to help us focus and focus is the biggest thing for me. And to remind ourselves of what our intentions are. That's the biggest thing for me, I think, is that every day when I refresh my mind on them, it just helps me remember who I've decided to be because I've got them written in my affirmations. I'm just like reminding myself, this is who you've chosen to be, Bradie, and stay in line with that. So it's helpful to remind yourself every morning with affirmations. But the first time I heard about the idea of they're so awesome, Kelly. The first time I heard of affirmations, it wasn't really presented in that way. It was more of a visualizing or a manifestation type of skew to the article. I read about it in a women's magazine. It was like, get your dream parking spot or something like that. And I don't know about you, but like back in those days when my bigger kids were really small, you know, the budget was tight back then. And so for me, magazines were like, they were like a splurge, right? It was like a treat. You're standing in the aisle and you're almost through the grocery run and you've been so good on budget and stuff, and you got a couple extra bucks you think you can spare, and one of those stupid headlines just grabs you. Well, anyways, in this magazine was this how to get your dream parking spot article. And so the idea was that when you set out for the grocery store, you're going to start visualizing this parking spot right in front that you want. You know, is it one away from the door? Is it right beside the shopping cart bay? You're going to start visualizing exactly where you want your spot to be when you leave the house. And the whole way there, you are just thinking about that grocery parking spot, you know, and repeating to yourself, my spot is waiting for me. You know, like you're not only visualizing it, but you're like affirming it with your voice, reinforcing it. And so, and you have to use the present tense, you know, and with the utmost certainty. There's no trembling voices, there's no disbelief allowed. We know in our heart that bloody parking spot is going to be there when we get there. And so I gave it a try. And believe it or not, my parking spot was there. And you know, the first time you're like, okay, that was cool, but, and so, you know, like 2, 3, 4, you know, like several times this is working out well for me. And I'm pretty, you know, focused on it, intent on it, because at the time, you know, I've got 2 little girls. Way back when I only had 2 little girls, now I have 10, not all little girls. I have 10 children, 5 boys and 5 girls. And back then I thought I had my hands full. Isn't that funny? So then one time, you know, I can't even remember what the circumstances were. It's so long ago, but I did not do my focusing. I did not have my intention. I did not visualize my parking spot. And needless to say, when I got there, the parking spot was not there and I had to park further out and walk in. So, okay, you know, I'm starting to wonder, is this legit? You know, like, am I really buying into it? Am I really manifesting it? Do I really have this much power? You want to believe it, but it's really, really hard to just truly believe that you might actually have that much power in your own manifestation, right? But I really do wish that I'd had the realization at that time of how powerful affirmations really can be, and how visualization and manifestation can really, really occur. And like, this isn't made up stuff, guys. If you look into it, there's actually some science behind it, behind the intention and the focus and the energy that you're putting behind it. It's not just woo, is what I'm trying to say. There's actually some science behind this. So check it out if you're interested. So at this point, you know, you kind of have to ask yourself, if I can manifest a fabulous parking spot, what else can I kind of dream up for myself in life? the possibilities start to brew a little bit, you know, like the opportunities that you might be able to realize maybe start to brew just a little bit. And now in a tiny bit, I will outline how I use affirmations every morning. And it's just the way I do it. Doesn't mean it's the right way. But I'll tell you about that in a moment. So I learned about affirmations specifically a few years after the Women's Magazine. And it came from a book that we read from a man named John Assaraf. And the advice that we learned at that point was to use statements of positive affirmation to manifest the future that you want. And these statements are about acceptance and gratitude, but also about specific things that you want to achieve or accomplish, but they must be put in present tense. It's so important that they're put in present tense. And I don't think I really understood that in the beginning. So both Matt and I began writing our statements like faithfully. We're doing this all the time because of course we've got a huge family growing, and you know, we're both working hard and hopeful, and we're just hoping to manifest a life of greatness, right, for our children. And I remember one of the recommended statements was, I am worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Can you imagine being worth hundreds of millions of dollars? It would be fabulous, I'm sure. But the truth was that at that point in time, my belief was so small, there was no way that I could even comprehend $1 million. Never mind hundreds of millions of dollars, right? So I found it really hard to even write that statement. When I would write my affirmations, I actually changed that one. I actually took it and shrunk it, because my mind just could not comprehend the enormity of what that statement was asking of me. There was no way that I could ever imagine that possibility. And so what I changed my statement to was, I want to earn enough to pay my bills every month. I went from hundreds of millions of dollars down to this tiny little space that I was comfortable in, where I declared I wanted to have enough money to pay my bills. That was a stretch for me at that point in time. So finally, we got to the point where, shit, I'm paying my bills every month. And you know what? I've even got a little bit left over. So now I need to start saving, right? We need to start creating a nest egg for ourselves and our children, rainy day fund. And so I needed to revamp it. So I took that statement and I turned it into, I am able to save $500 a month. So I had gone beyond my paying my bills every month, and I was now able to comprehend the idea of saving a little chunk of money. That was my next big goal, the next possibility that I could imagine for myself. Pretty small. Now, when I look back on it, it's not really an affirmation of strength or a lot of hope. Not really a big goal. And the truth is, with goals, we really have to dig deep. We really have to make them big and bold and a little bit hairy and kind of scary and gross. Like I felt about hundreds of millions of dollars when I first started this process. Like, just can't even think of that idea. Just not even, no. But before I knew it, we were saving $600 a month. So this was the point where I think I just really had the realization that it was time to just kind of seize my power. And I was waffling on half my statements. You know, there was not really much strength in them, and they weren't really like owning what I was trying to claim for myself, what I was trying to manifest. They were lacking conviction. So we needed to do some fine tuning. And at that point, it was time to go back to the books and back to the person we learned this technique from, and just start figuring out what needed a little bit of renovation. Because when you learn a technique and now you're 10 years into the habit, you forget some of the fine points, right? So you definitely want to fine tune and make sure you're doing it just right. What can I do a little bit better to make sure I'm truly nurturing this process the best that I can? So after doing more research on how using affirmations and manifestation works, because there's actually science on this stuff, guys, I realized that I was missing those important key details. So both Matt and I, armed with our new knowledge, we renovated our affirmations. We created brand new vision boards with just like gross, hairy goals. We renovated our approach. And that statement about money, I am proud to say, finally grew back to I am worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And another good one to use is I am a money magnet. Imagine just attracting money, just like bring it to me. But abundance isn't just money. We have to remind ourselves of that too, right? And another good one to use is I attract money from both expected and unexpected sources. I love that unexpected sources element because, you know, if you've ever opened the mail and there was a check in there, maybe from grandma, maybe from the government, I don't know who it's from, but like, you know that joy in the bottom of your stomach. You're like, baby, I'm getting new socks today. I'm just kidding. Maybe it's something way more fabulous for you, but as a mom of lots of kids, that's usually my priority. Or undershorts, like seriously, stock up on the undershorts. So we shaped up these affirmations, you know, we like fine-tuned them. We started really taking ownership, and we were just had little details in there like we're gonna move to a house that has a balcony off the master bedroom. That was like we would lay in our bed at night and Matt would say, I just wish there was a window in here that we could open up, you know, like he just wanted a balcony off our master bedroom. And what else? We wanted a walk-in closet. Just we had all these little things, all these little details that we worked into the affirmations so that we could be more specific. Yep, there's Maddie telling me, but present tense, right? You got to take ownership. You got to talk about it as if you already own it. So once we did that fine tuning, we kept doing these affirmations and we're trudging along and trying to keep believing, but it was really just not happening. Nothing was changing. We're working hard in our business and but things were just kind of maintaining. To smoke weed on, that's right. Always. But it came to feel like we had been just hoping for so long that we kind of started to lose steam a bit, and maybe the affirmations got put to the wayside and they weren't as much of a priority because we just weren't seeing any results. And then a funny thing happened because we hired a business consultant, and he really helped us grow our business, like really significantly helped us grow our business. And then we realized that we were at a point where we could afford to move out of our house. And that was something we had wanted to do for a really long time. So we started searching for houses, and you know, I'll bet we saw every large house that was available in our area because we have a huge family. So, you know, we need a yard and we need lots of bedrooms and lots of bathrooms, and we need a big kitchen. I need great laundry services. There's lots of demands in our home. Well, we looked at everything and nothing was going to work. Like just nothing that was available in our area was going to work for us. And we had exhausted all the realty sites where all the listings were. And so we're kind of at the point where like, maybe we should wait a month and see if more becomes available after the first of the month type of thing. And then we just stopped looking. Maybe for like a full day, we just stopped looking at ads. Have you ever searched for a new home? Like, does it consume you? Like both of us just like, busy, just staring at our phones, scrolling through ads. Have we seen this one? Looking through pictures. Yeah, that ugly island is familiar. You know, like just searching through all these ads, and it's just taking up so much of our time searching for the perfect home, which didn't exist. And then Matt's phone rang, and it was Wanda. Oh. And Wanda said, listen, do you want to come and look at my house? My renter fell through, and I'm desperate. And she was like, she needed a renter. The movers were coming in the morning. She needed a renter like immediately. We said, yes, we'd love to come and see your home. And so we drove out and we saw the home, and we pulled up in the driveway, and we literally just both gasped. It was the craziest thing, because the family had taken, have you ever seen one of those cute little signs? It's like a little piece of wood. It's maybe 12 inches long and probably 4 inches tall. And they're probably from like a local carnival of some sort. I can picture them from Klondike days. And people would have their family name engraved in the wood, and then they would hang it from their front door, or this family had it above their garage. But what was really strange about it is that their last name was the same name as our business consultant whom we just hired. It was the same as his first name. And the odd thing about it is that it was a weird spelling for his first name, and their last name was spelt the exact same. Double letters here, double letters there. Weird first letter. Just like totally took our breath away. So before we even went into the house, we were a little bit like, weird. And then, so we go inside a big open foyer, bright and beautiful and clean. Oh, Wanda liked a clean house. Oh, did she ever like a clean house? But for some reason, I didn't go straight in. I went through the like mud room. And as I came through, it was a walk-through from the garage into a laundry room, into a pantry. And as I walked through, I was like, this is my dream. This is exactly what I talked about in my affirmations, coming through the garage, through the laundry. This is exactly what I pictured. The pantry running along the left. And you guys, as I opened up the door into the kitchen, from the pantry into the kitchen, it was the exact kitchen that I had cut out and put on my vision board when we renovated our vision board and our affirmations, like 2 years prior, like way back. So I was literally speechless. Like I couldn't even like breathe properly, because I was so overwhelmed. First by the name outside, and then second by the pantry and the walkthrough, and third by the kitchen. I was already sold. It didn't matter if we all had to share a bedroom upstairs. I wanted this house. So the rest of the main floor was lovely, and we saw the basement, and then we went upstairs, and it was all these wide open hallways, and the stairways were like double the width of a normal stairway. And when you have 10 children, you need all that space. The bedrooms were huge. And then we went into the master. And when you went into the master, you could see straight through into the backyard, but then the washroom was right there. And I could see into the big, beautiful washroom. And it was just gorgeous. But I could also see out onto the little patio that was right off the master bedroom, like the patio that Matt had detailed in his affirmations, word for word. And then as I went into the master bath, I found the walk-in closet that I had written in my affirmations. And I think it's probably pretty clear that we took the house, because I could have done without those damn white carpets. Like seriously, they were a terrible choice. We worked so hard. Matt worked so hard to keep those white carpets beautiful. I cannot believe we gave those carpets back in the shape we did. They were pristine. Probably one of my biggest accomplishments. No, it was Matt's accomplishment. He cleaned every stain. But the point is that even though it took way longer than we hoped it would, everything about that house was bang on, exactly what we asked for. Like I could not have found a better match, truly, amazingly It was really, really something to experience and to have it come to reality right there. But to drive up and have that sign, first of all, that was like, here it is, guys. You found it. It found you, actually, is really what it felt like. So the point is that, hey, sis, in summary, my point is that, affirmations have proven to be extremely beneficial for us in our life, and we believe in them fully. Now, anybody who is maybe struggling to find a little bit of light in their life at this time could really, really benefit from doing affirmations. It's almost like you're forcing a few minutes of brightness into your day. Like you're just making yourself be positive and have something that you can focus on outside of whatever is causing your suffering, right? But I have to tell you, after we lived in this dream house for a wee bit, I was like, I really don't like this flat stove top. If there was one thing I could change about this kitchen, it would be that next time I have a gas stove top. And Matt would say, I love this bathroom, but I want a fireplace at the end of my tub. And then I would say, I wish the walk-in closet was bigger. And then I shit you not, when we had to move out of Wanda's house and move to the next house, we pulled up to that house and there was a car parked in front. And it had, the license plate was BFF and then our PIN number. And we looked at each other and we're like, no. And then we went inside and we found the gas stove, the tub at the end of our fireplace, and the biggest walk-in closet I've ever seen in my life. So I just really, 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 really hope that some detail in this story I've outlined for you this evening might inspire you to consider using affirmations. Now, I am currently drafting up a really pretty copy. I've got the affirmations written, but they're going off to get prettied up. And if anybody is interested in seeing what my affirmations are, shoot me a message and include your email address. And then when I've got that ready to go, I will send you the information so that you can also start using affirmations in your life, because there is just no reason not to. No reason not to. Like I said, even if it's just for the benefit of forcing, 15 minutes of positivity into your morning. You're right, Jess. Yep. What we put out into our thoughts and wants, it also becomes our reality. That is so, so true. So when I set my time in the morning to do this, it's important to just have a nice quiet place where you are not disturbed, because you really want to be able to focus on this and give it your truest, purest intention. You are manifesting your most beautiful future. Like you're not trying, you are creating your dream life in your mind. And you are training yourself to be the person who's going to reach that goal. And you're just imposing a little bit of like discipline, a little bit of kind discipline on yourself every morning in order just to remind yourself, this is who I want to be. This is who I intend to be. This is the mom I want to be to my children. This is how I want to react to stressors in my life. There's just so many things about affirmations that help us keep our mindset focused and set our intentions. So much talking. So first and foremost, you need to have a quiet place. Yeah, that you're meant to be. Quiet place where you can just take a few minutes to kind of quietly meditate or really relax. Sometimes people really resist at the idea of meditation, but it is so good for your mind to rest and just have that really, really quiet time for meditation. Now, I like to take my affirmations and I write them out every single day. They're massive. It's huge. It takes me a long time, but you know what? It is so worth it. It's so, so worth it. I'm going to show you what I write. Every morning. That's 2 full pages. Look at it. So I write those out every single day, and I flip the page back and I write it out, and I flip the page back. And you'd think by now that I would remember them, but they've evolved and changed so much over the years that they never all stick in your 2 damn pages, never stick in your head. It's impossible. Although I'm sure it is possible. Actors do it all the time with scripts. So once I've written out all those statements, I'm going to read them. But first, what's really, really beneficial to do is to take a few more minutes of quiet meditation and to visualize your most wonderful memory. What is the thing that brings you literally the most joy in your life? Like, was it your wedding day? Was it when you got married? Like when you had a child? Was it your graduation from college or university? Or, what was it? Was it when you got that big job? What was your most joyous moment? I want you to then, after you've written out all your statements, that's when you're going to take a moment and visualize that moment again for yourself. And you are going to do your best to just relive that shit again. Like you are going to stir up that feeling in your stomach where you were so happy. So happy. Maybe you can even hear some of the sounds that were happening there. Was there music? Can you recall what was playing? What could you smell? We need to recall our senses in those moments of joy, and we need to tie our statements to those overwhelming, passionate moments. And when you start tying those things together, you create these crazy new pathways in your brain, and your brain just starts looking at things differently. Your brain starts looking at things differently. So once you've created that passion inside of yourself, you've created that moment where you're just really feeling that wonderful memory again, that is when you're going to go over your statements and you're going to read them aloud. And you are going to come across statements exactly like my worth hundreds of millions of dollars statement, and you are not going to believe it. You are not going to believe it. You're going to feel a little bit sick in your stomach. It's going to be hard for you to say it. Your voice might even waver. And those are the ones that I want you to do your best to say with the most conviction. Because those are the ones that you're scared of. Those are the ones that you're the most scared of. But those are the ones that if you believe in them the most, they are going to happen for you. So you need. And you know what? Do I expect to be 100 millionaire? No. But like I told you, I reached those tiny little goals, and I made my tiny little goal a little bit bigger, and I reached that too. So we need to make our goals disgusting. Like they need to be almost insulting. Are you stupid? And that's also why you can keep them to yourself. You are not obligated to share them with anybody else. Is your partner passionate? Are they worthy of hearing your goals? Share them with them. The 2 of you focus together on similar goals. Oh Lord, watch out. The 2 of you will be a force. It's amazing what 2 minds together can work towards. But don't feel obligated to share your goals with everybody. So like I said, once you've created that wonderful memory in your mind, you've really recreated the emotion, you're hearing the sounds, you're smelling the smells, maybe you can even taste the food from that wonderful day. Holy moly, it's windy outside. And so once you've done that, you're going to read those statements aloud, and you're really going to focus on those ones that give you the most vibration, the most tremor in your voice, the most fear in your gut. You're going to focus on those ones the most, and you're just going to say them with as much conviction as you can muster. And I highly suggest that you do this every day. For me, it's most effective first thing in the morning. It's a wonderful, wonderful way to start your day and set your intention for everything ahead. I almost found it, I was going through a really stressful time, and it's actually saved me in the mornings and just made me a better mom because I just had better intention. I bet my second floor of my house is shaking. I'm like a little bit disarmed at the moment. Wow, that is really stormy. Is it stormy where you guys are? Jess, obviously, you're local. Who else is watching? You got, you're windy too. And hello. So like I said, if you're interested in, ooh, how's your weather, Kelly? This is probably coming your way. We weren't supposed to get this weather for a couple of days. This is early. I had this here too. I just wanted to mention this hemp work stuff. I don't know if any of you are interested in having like a monthly product that you get delivered to you, but I was getting a lot of like Americans asking me about CBD, and I don't know about CBD in the States, so I decided to sign up for HempWorks so that I can refer people to that in the States. But I also brought in like their personal care products, lotion and shampoo and stuff like that, and it really nice scents and really nice products. I'm quite pleased with them. Yeah, I saw Gwen's post about the blizzard coming sooner than expected. It's passing a bit now. That was really intense for a minute there, but phew, I feel better now. Kelly, where did you go the other day? Where did you go learn? I was so curious. Kelly went and attended some learning seminar the other day. Studio 420 YYC, everybody. Follow her because she grows some awesome stuff. Doing some deep water culture still. Totally putting you on the spot. Ooh, my lights just flickered. Oh, that's awesome. It's so great when people share their knowledge and stuff, hey, and you can attend other learning events. What? Holy smokes. No shit, you had to see it. That's impressive. Wow. I hope you took lots of pictures and like took some notes and shit. And Jesse's like, what? That's awesome. Holy smokes. Oh. Hello, hello. Tonight I was rambling about affirmations, but I pretty much blabbed everything I wanted to say. And now Studio YYC is telling us about somewhere she went to learn about growing, where the guy is getting 3.5 pounds per light. That's amazing. Wowzers. Maybe he should teach a class or something. He could probably do really well right now. No kidding, that's crazy. What's everybody smoking tonight? I forgot to ask you all what you were smoking tonight. Usually I write questions to myself. Ask what they are drinking for tea. This is starting to feel really strong. Tonight, our son-in-law Justin made the most delicious dinner. I swear to God, it tasted like it was delivery from Nando's. Shish kaberry, nice. Yummy. I like that name. Anything with like a berry or fruit. I'm like, yeah, sign me up. Send me too. It was like the most delicious rice and this like cabbage coleslaw, but he like grated the cabbage himself. And this beautiful tender chicken. It was so yummy. Super cereal. That sounds yummy too. I would totally eat a bowl of cereal right now. So I got 2 videos planned that I'm going to make tomorrow. One is on making the pain salve. I've already done the video on YouTube for infusing the cannabis oil, and now I'll teach you how to make the cannabis salve into, teach you how to make the oil into the salve. And then I'm also, ooh, sour diesel, yummy. I'm also going to teach you how to make a stronger gummy. Taught how to make a small gummy. Now I'm going to teach how to measure your molds and see how to check the size of them and do some weed math, because weed math seems to be an elusive thing for people. And there's a few calculators online, but I think it's important to lay out for people how it all works so that they can understand rather than just plugging numbers in, because it gets a little bit, yeah, it can be tricky, weed math. I don't know why, it just can be. I always have to write it out, and I'm good at math, so I'll try and teach you in a YouTube video. Well, everybody, thanks so much for joining me tonight. I'm going to wrap it up and go see my children for the rest of the evening, maybe read some Chronicles of Narnia. Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is what we are currently trudging through. But it's, I shouldn't have said trudging. It's a joy and an honor to spend time reading with my children and hopefully build their love of reading, because I was totally a book nerd when I was a kid. In fact, I'm confident it's the reason I wear glasses. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for coming. And thank you, Snuggleva and Jerkstein and Jesse. Thanks to all of you for joining. Love you all so, so much. Remember, go like Bloom and Harvest and Sparrow Quilt Co. And yeah, total book nerd. See, even my sister's telling you I was a total book nerd. Oh, excellent. That sounds great, Christine. So again, if you wanted those affirmations, send me a private message here on Instagram, and I will follow up with you next week when I've got them all ready to send out. I hope you all have a wonderful evening and start thinking about what you want to have in your affirmations. What are you dreaming about? What are the tiny little details that you need in your dream home? Where is that dream home going to be? I tell you, I'm going oceanfront, and I am talking tropical, okay? All right, dream big, my darlings. So much love to you all, and I will see you next time. Have a good night.